Good evening. US President Donald Trump's been accused of inciting fear and panic on a third day of violent clashes and arrests in Los Angeles. Tear gas, flashbang grenades and batons have been used on demonstrators, some of whom have been throwing projectiles. They're angry over sweeping immigration raids and are now facing off with National Guard troops after the US president deployed 2,000 to the city. It's a move rejected by California's governor, who says they're not needed, and Trump wants to create chaos so he can exert more control. In Gavin Newsom's words, the acts of a dictator, not a president. It comes after immigration officials arrested more than 100 people suspected of being undocumented migrants in LA last week. Trump says he'll take all action necessary to liberate the city from what he calls the migrant invasion. That could include deploying active-duty Marines, a suggestion California's governor has called deranged. US correspondent Logan Church has more.
The City of Angels under siege. Protesters taking to the streets in force after the president deployed the local National Guard.
It's a shame that you guys are trying to start a civil war on your own people.
State and federal law enforcement responding with tear gas and rubber bullets. Caught in the crossfire, a reporter from our Australian partners 9 News hit in the leg.
You okay?
They spit, we hit. And I told them, nobody's going to spit on our police officers. Nobody's going to spit on our military.
That's not deterring growing groups of angry residents. Many believe Trump's abusing his power for political gain.
Trump hates us. He hates sanctuary cities. He's going to try and make an example out of us.
A large crowd gathered outside the city's downtown detention center, just after such gatherings were declared illegal. Later, many broke onto a freeway to block traffic. These protests ignited by the arrest of dozens of workers suspected of being undocumented migrants.
I think that's honestly what's heartbreaking the most, because they're making it seem like they're really bad people, like criminals, and when they're not, when they're just trying to work hard for their own families.
While Donald Trump does have the power to deploy California's National Guard and the federal police, he doesn't have control over local law enforcement. They answer to city leaders, and many of them are very much against what the president and his immigration agents are doing.
The LA County Sheriff's Department does not and will not participate in civil immigration enforcement.
What we're seeing in Los Angeles is chaos that is provoked by the administration.
As night fell, demonstrators showed no sign of backing down, with cars set alight and Mexican flags waving. The fear now, what happens next?
Associated Press correspondent Phillip Crowther, who's on the ground in Los Angeles. Good evening, Phillip. Tell us what you've seen today.
Look, it's been a very tense and a very noisy day here in downtown Los Angeles, a day of confrontations, of tensions between the police forces here and protesters, and indeed those tensions continue into the night, as I think you're aware of from what you can see in the background. We just saw fireworks being shot toward LA Police Department officers who are trying to protect their headquarters here in downtown Los Angeles. Fires still ablaze here in downtown LA. We just saw a large series of police cars also driving through here, and of course a lot of them getting abuse from the protesters here. Those constant confrontations happening here in downtown, but also on the highway going through the center of Los Angeles, where protesters were throwing rocks at police officers and at their cars. Some of those police officers getting stuck underneath the overpasses in order to protect themselves. We also know at this point what the LA Police Department makes of it all. It says that it feels overwhelmed by the sheer quantity of protesters out here in central Los Angeles. And the question, of course, now is how does this continue with more National Guard troops expected here in this city? Only 300 or so are here right now. The President, Donald Trump, had announced up to 2,000. They might be needed. We haven't seen much of them so far. What they do mainly is protect federal buildings. It's the local police department that has got more involved in those direct confrontations, again, that are continuing into the night. And only time will tell, of course, whether they continue into next week as well.